Sigma.
Gotta get those levels right.
I'm a Sigma.
Ah.
I go out. I don't even.
Here we go.
Man Swoo.
Oh, fuck, blew it. Ready?
Man Swoo. Man Swoo.
This time. Third time lucky. Go.
Man Swoo.
Boy.
Man
I've already pressed record, so we're already in.
Oh,
mate.
yeah.
We're already in. Yeah. Just fucking
And the
jump in.
mics are connected properly this time.
Haha. Let's hope so. You can hear me.
No, you're
so
falling apart now.
yeah, you're just falling apart a little bit too.
I can hear you, but the pitch is jumping about a bit. Yeah, so it might
Looks
be a bit
okay.
skitsy through this.
Looks okay on my end, but oh hey, we'll just give it a bloody hour of power and see how we go.
Yeah.
Let's put the Raro chat on the second half of the pod, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
start with a beer.
Oh shit! I'm gonna pause the recording. I'm gonna go get a drink too. Hold fire.
You're running a sarong, eh?
That's a great question because I'm definitely wearing a sarong and I'm going to stand up because everyone will want to see this at home, especially Frank Robinson. So check this out. The sarong is up and running.
Just the sarong, nothing under it.
Well, we'll leave that to the imagination, shall we? I've got a crazy little RTD here. Smirnoff.
Oh, you stole an Edison.
One Edison's
Stolen
drinks,
Edison's drinks.
Smirnoff Ice Double Black Raspberry Crush. That actually suits my sarong, doesn't it?
Yeah, that it does.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks McPaike for jumping in. Man Swoo. It's been a long time, man, since the Break of Bay. How many weeks has that been? Like 5 or 6?
Yeah, it would be 5 or 6. Yeah.
Hardly open this.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been happening
What
in
a
your
weekend
world?
it was, though.
Yeah, we'll talk. Definitely, we'll do a big
house has been
Break of Bay
sick.
recap. But yeah, talk me through what's been going on. Did you
So
guys get the COVID or not?
Nah, I don't think it was COVID. So got home after Break of Bay and I ended up sick for a week. And now it's just bouncing the rest of the family. Max is on the couch. Max has been on the couch for 2 days. Willow's been off and on the couch as well. She hasn't been at school for the week. So it's got us, but
terrible.
hopefully we're at the end of it because it's been pretty shit. Shit.
And on that, the main reason why Hodgie isn't here is because he's been dealing with 5 weeks of non-stop sickness in his household, and he's at the end of his tether, I think. Pray for the household, pray for the Hodgo household, pray for Sophie, pray for Tui, pray for Taylor. It sounds
it's rough when it gets when it gets in the house and you got kids. It just cycles through everyone.
And that's what's happening with Hodgo. He I can't remember who got sick first. Might have been Tui, and then Sophie, and then it was COVID. And then Hodgo got COVID, and you know what he's like with sickness. He'd be hard work. He would be
a lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work. Man flu. He'd be absolutely Poor Sophie.
Poor Sophie.
Yeah, pray for Soph. And so then
Kia kaha, Sophie.
Kia kaha, Soph. I think he's coming right, but he's still not out of the woods. And then Sophie got sick again, so she healed up from the COVID. Then she got crook again, and then we just saw in the chat before that now she's put her back out. So
no luck, eh?
That's terrible, especially in the middle of winter. Poor family, cold and miserable. Poor Tui.
Yeah,
she's at that age where she just wants to get out and play and experience life, and she'll be on that iPad, mate. She'll be on that iPad, getting sick of YouTube.
A lot of YouTube, a lot of cartoons.
A lot of cartoons.
That's what
hopefully
our
some
house has
games.
been.
Is it?
The
So
last
what are
2 days has just been blazing the monster machines, the same show over and over for 12 hours straight.
You better hope they've got headphones that'll be
It's
doing your
rough.
head in.
It's bloody rough. Yeah, no, it has to be on the TV, full volume.
Oh, great. Do they get into games? So they play gaming or anything online?
Well, I was really into gaming right now, so she'll get online, play something with her friends, and talk to them online. She's really into that right now,
Oh, that's
which is
cool.
interesting. It's like just seeing them grow and do stuff like
Mm.
that is pretty interesting. Eh?
What is she playing? Like
It'll be cool.
Roblox or something?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no idea how that game works, but it's the end thing right now.
Yeah, I've never heard.
That
I've
and a
never
bit of
played. Never
that
played
and a
it
bit of
either.
Minecraft.
Oh, how good's Minecraft? Have you ever got into it?
No, not at all.
Dude, you should. It's fucking fun. Especially you can play
I'm
two-player with your daughter as well. And it's just so fun to find a sick mountain and build a hell house and a base and go exploring, hunt for diamonds. It's sick.
It's tempting to sign up just to ruin everything she's built. Just to
go
be a
around
wanker.
destroy her
Just
house.
ruin it. Yeah.
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 Cool. Well, let's jump into. Oh, I'm just seeing a guy fucking run down the hill. Hey, did you see? Hey, thanks for liking my little run yesterday or the other day on
Oh,
Strava.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
got to. Yeah. What an
Back in
effort.
there. Back in there.
Hmm.
The solid little
Would have been
3
hard,
points.
hot.
Hard and hot, 3 point something K.
Hmm.
First run in probably 8 to 9 months, I reckon. It was it was good. And then
One and
the
done.
last little and I'll probably get back into it after I tell you what's been happening in Raro. But
Okay.
yeah, let's get into Breaker Bay. So
Yeah.
you and me, we did the big mish from Greymouth to Picton. Early
Big old
start,
day
wasn't
of
it?
travel.
Big
Yeah,
old day of
big old
travel.
day of travel.
You cooked the timing of the trip. We thought it was like 6 hours, but it's actually only about 4.5, really, isn't it?
Yeah, that was definitely my fault. I'll wear that one.
That's okay.
Google
But we
told
got
me
there.
different.
Yeah, fuck Google. What does it know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
So we
got
got
to
there with
Picton.
plenty of time and
Yeah, and we had a lovely little conversation with a bubbly young woman at the cafe in Blenheim with the best
show some
best
energy.
cheese. She had some great energy.
Apparently.
Best cheese scones in Blenheim. Apparently, you had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Award winning apparently. Don't know
Apparently,
what
and
awards,
then
but I wouldn't have given it one.
yeah, then we went to Picton, had a coffee, hung out for a bit, had plenty of time, and yeah, jumped on the boat. The ferry was kind of uneventful. We were sort of thinking, "Fuck, is there going to be like
Yeah.
big swells?" But it was mellow, eh?
Yeah, it was quite disappointing actually.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of wind and a bit of chop, but nothing like what we were
No.
expecting.
No, it was pretty mellow. Then we got to Wellies, found our accommodation, went for a little tiki tour around the bays to check out the site, the comp site, and yeah, what did you think of that whole sort of area around the bays?
Such a cool area. So scenic. It's so nice. It is very
Yeah.
Kaikoura-like, isn't it?
It
Very
is.
Kaikoura-like.
Yeah, you look at the
A
rock
little
formations.
hidden waves all through there.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot. It is nice.
Yeah. I enjoy going back there too. It's really cool. So
Our
yeah, and then
accommodation was primo.
it
Our
was.
accommodation was good. Good location.
Yeah.
Not too far away from anything, but enough to be a
Nah.
little bit away.
It was only like what, 10-minute drive to Breaker Bay?
Yeah.
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 Windy
Nice views
roads
out of
though.
the deck.
Oh, how shitty
Oh,
were
and the
those
road up.
fucking. Oh my god. So there's like, picture this, people. Wellington is quite hilly and windy, and so we're going up this road, and it's just like, and everyone's just obnoxiously parking on the side of the road because there's no parking. And so it's just a nightmare. You're driving basically on a one-way street, which is two-way but yeah, it's one-way because of all the cars parked on the side of the road. So I was fucking stressing in the work whip, just like, fuck, please no one come around the corner. But we didn't have fucking hardly any issues, did
We
we?
were very lucky. We didn't pass much cars at all. But the corners were so tight as well. Cars on both sides of the road. You could see accidents happening around there very easily.
Fuck yeah. That was a bit dicey. But yeah, Como was cool. We had 2 bedrooms and a couch for 3 of us. And the couch was quite comfy and we rotated, didn't we? Rotated. Everyone had a night on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The couch was probably more comfortable than the beds, actually. Couch was quite nice.
Couch was mint.
Yeah.
Actually, before we jump into the comp, for those of you who haven't jumped on Patreon, feel free because we did a podcast. You and I, Hodgo, and Joel as Wang, and we did a bit of a ad hoc half pissed debrief, which was quite fun, eh?
It's pretty good. Some good
Yeah, it was
value,
good.
eh? It was a good laugh.
There's a bit of hour and a half content on there if you want to. You could even just jump in for the cheapest fucking Patreon and then just go watch the vid and then unsubscribe from Patreon if you want to.
What is your cheapest Patreon?
I think it's like $3 or $4 or something.
No,
Yeah.
value.
I think it goes
money.
like, yeah, I think it goes like 3, 7, and 11 or something. That's the 3 tiers, something like that. It's pretty cheap. Yeah.
Cobbo's Playtown Wave Trap, isn't it?
That's exactly it. No, it's down the beach, corner, and wave trap. I think that's
Wave
the 3 tiers. Yeah. Wave trap's at the top, which is a bit controversial, but never mind.
I think it's an appropriate order.
You think it's good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So let's get into the comp. Breaker Bay. First, shout out to the organisers, Grelly and Floyd were the main 2, and then the local surf, the Wellington Board Riders Club. They were huge parts of that. And the setup, bro. The setup was pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, with the big screen, live heats running. It was so well done. They did a very good job of that. Priority boards.
That for me was a game changer. I've always talked about it and wanted it to happen. I think we could do that next year for our comp. It just requires someone to just basically be on them, you know, and we can do that. We can just rotate for that. One thing I will say about the priority
board. We also
board,
need to wear rashes for that to happen.
Definitely. That's definitely happening. But the priority board was good. It wasn't perfect because they weren't putting into consideration first to the peak. Did you notice that?
Nah, not really.
Yeah. Now, see, I noticed it in one of my heats where I caught a wave and then I managed to get back before someone else who'd caught a wave after me. And so I was thinking, oh, cool, I got to the peak before him, so I should jump up the priority. But I didn't, so they must have just went for, whoever caught the wave.
Cycle.
Yeah.
So, just rotating around instead of racing.
Yeah. Which, that's just room for improvement for them. But so good to have that luxury. And it just takes away any of the stress of being in a heat and any of that sort of who's next kind of vibe, I thought it was really nice. It just actually it kind of just relaxed me because I was like, okay, cool. I've got priority. No one's going to hassle me for the wave. And I was being polite and I'd tell people, not going. I think there was one heat though where a sick one came and I think I basically dropped nuts and Floyd could have gone, but I didn't. Because I sort of didn't know if I was going to go or not. And I was like, oh, nah. And I didn't go and I didn't say anything. And he sort of looked at me as like, sorry, Floyd.
Strategy.
Yeah. There wasn't much of that going on, which was cool. But day one, I was about to say day one, there was only one day, wasn't there?
There was only one day. Yeah. We did have the surf beforehand. Did we surf the day before, that night before?
We did. We had a free surf.
Gav.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
It was good to get familiar with the wave before the comp.
It was.
Is a very tricky wave.
Yeah. Let's talk about the wave. We were quite confident, coming from a right-hand wedge. We were thinking, we'll be sweet. We'll be able to scoop in piece of piss. But
Get a few good ones.
Yeah. And that free surf was good. Gave me a bit of confidence. But then the next day, it was a completely different kettle of fish with the size, eh?
Well, the free surf was what, 2 foot,
Yeah.
maybe? The,
Yep.
the comp day was about 6 foot.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in the first heat of the
It was
day.
a whole
And
different wave, the comp day.
it was, man. Yeah. So I was in the first heat of the day with Grally, which was cool. And it was pretty mellow, actually. Like, it was probably only 3 foot. Tide was quite high. Wind was nice and offy. Sun was sort of just coming up over the back of that hill. And yeah, I performed terribly in that first heat. Just got maybe a couple of 2s or something, or 3, if that. So yeah, but didn't matter even if you won the heat, because it was top 3
Three?
waves.
Top
Yeah.
3 waves, I think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Across
top 3
across
waves
the
over
2
2
rounds.
rounds. Yeah, which is a great way to do it.
It is. It is. I like
Yeah.
that format. It's really good. Good old Shark Island styles.
Mm.
Oh, little segue. Do you see that the Shark Island comp's finally on standby?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been keeping an eye on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be
Hopefully
cool.
they get better waves than last year.
Yeah. Last year was just fucking heavy.
Sort of flopped a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it was just too big and wrong swell angle, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they've had to extend their waiting period, not unlike the Breaker Bay comp.
The Breaker Bay comp that run for 2 years.
Yeah, poor guys, eh? That's
I was just 2024, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But they got it done.
How crazy was, like, the first week of the window for the 2025 and the swell came?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas they had to wait a whole year in 2024.
A whole year and never got what they wanted.
Nah. So
And it was a lot of swell that came.
Yeah. Oh, we should rewind too. We picked up Hodgo from the airport the night before. He came in hot, and let's talk about what happened to him that night.
His first night. What
happened?
A night
What happened,
for
Paikey?
Ben Hodgson. His first
What happened,
night.
mate? Tell us what
So
happened.
what? Hodgo can't sleep very well. Yep. So he's got himself on the old THC oil drops.
Yep.
So what did he do? He couldn't sleep. He was on the couch that night. Couldn't sleep. Had a few drops, I think. Few drops. Woke up. Couldn't get back to sleep. Decided to have a fair few more drops. Did he? The recommended dosage was 0.1 mil?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Or was it 1 mil? He 10 times the recommended dosage. 10 times. And he was cooked the next day.
Oh,
the next day he refused to get out of the car, wouldn't talk to anyone. He was so paranoid.
He was, dude. He reckons he was high all day. He reckons he was cooked all day. Like, I don't think it wore off until later on that night after the comp or something. Oh,
and driving, when we were driving to there and you were making the noises and he was freaking out in the back. He was shitting himself on these little wee noises Jolan was making.
I was just making noises like, oh. And he was getting like full anxiety attacks in the back seat. Unbeknownst to us. That was so funny, though. God, that was hilarious. But also extremely annoying for you and I, having to deal with a fucking absolute wounder of a human, dealing with him whinging about.
That was on the Saturday, wasn't it? So we arrived on the Friday. Saturday we had a nothing day. Thankfully for Hodgo, there was the nothing day, or else that would have been a nightmare if we had the comp on the Saturday after his THC incident.
That's right. My bad. So he wasn't ripped for the whole comp. It was the day before, wasn't it? Yeah. My bad.
Yeah. And the Saturday was, everyone was talking about a certain spot that was going to pump.
Yeah.
People went there. No waves. Oh, it was waves, but it was not flash, was it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. So we had 2 free surfs, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
Well, the first one was with Gav.
Yeah. We surfed on the Friday when we arrived,
Friday
and then
night.
we were hoping to get a few waves on Saturday, but it didn't quite pan out that way, and we got late Arvo waves, was it?
Yeah. So we
think,
went for
yeah.
a surf on Saturday as well. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So
So, yeah,
Saturday, Friday was with Gav. Saturday was with Ahi, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think that's how it went. Yep.
Yeah.
So day one of the comp conditions were fucking the sets was pretty big, and it was forecasted to get bigger throughout the day, and it actually did get pretty big.
It got big.
Let's talk us. I've talked through my first heat. What was your first heat like? I remember
My
watching
first heat, I think my first heat, I didn't want to rush anything, so I just sat out there. I couldn't read the waves at all. The waves, I was baffled with the waves. Take off and think, I'm going to have to race this one, and you just outrun the whole wave. But I got one wave that I pulled in, and I come off right at the end of the barrel.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much my only wave. The other ones were low scoring waves.
I think you might have done a spin or something on one of them.
I think I did a spin. I got a bit, I was like, I have to do something on something. So I might have done a spin, and that was about it. But yeah, my first heat was pretty uneventful. I think Dunk got a few good ones. He was in my heat.
Yeah.
He got a few good ones, I think. But yeah, it was still pretty small. It wasn't too sketchy or anything in my first heat. The tide was still high, relatively. Not small, but not as big as what it got towards the end of the day.
Exactly.
Maybe like 3 to 4 foot.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
And then
manageable conditions.
Yeah. And so who was the main stars of the first round? I think I can remember, we should probably pull up the live heats on our phone, but I remember I think Steve had a pretty good first heat.
He got a few bombs.
Yeah, I think Floyd had a good first heat. All the guys you'd expect to do well. I think Ahi did okay. I think Dunk did, like you said, Dunk did good.
Yeah, Dunk did well. A lot of the locals got some good waves.
I was just about to say that. Yeah. Shout out to Dan and a few of the other locals. They were doing good. And yeah, how cool was it to see Kev Mack coming down as head judge? That was cool.
And JK down there too.
Yeah, JK on the lens and on the judging panel, and Rhino and fucking Wowsy. How good.
It makes a big difference having consistent judges as well through a comp, I think.
Oh shit.
That was a big win for them to have that up their sleeve to be able to do that. It was good.
Yeah, and the only way that we could probably do that is if we get someone down like Kevy.
We'd have to pay people.
Yeah. Probably Rhino too. Like if we can get like Kevy and Rhino as like solid judges, maybe give them a break every now and then. That'd be sick to have at least 2 solid dudes there just doing the mahi.
Yeah, and then rotate another one. But yeah, it was cool to have them. The judges had a primo position as well, straight on down the walkway a little bit. So there was 2 different angles. There was the 2 different angles. There was where they were set up on the top of the car park, which looks to the side of the wave a little bit. So everything looks a little bit deeper, but the judges are straight on. So there was a lot of people calling for 10s that weren't quite 10s.
True.
It looked like a lot of 10s taking off in that spot, but a lot different from where the judges were.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Middles too, Hayden Middleton. He's always got such a good energy, and he was shredding too in his heats. So round 2 saw the swell fucking jack up, and I ain't gonna lie, I was fucking looking at those sets thinking this is gonna be a little bit scary. And how are you feeling? Because well, actually, a lot of people did get hurt. I heard of a dislocated finger. Someone whacked their hip. Someone whacked their back. I saw someone with a cheese grater hand with blood coming out.
I saw a few cheese grater hands. I think Joel got his ankle on the reef and banged his ankle pretty bad. Yeah.
How did you go? Did you hit the reef?
No, I don't know. So I come up off one wave and I was like, my hip's sore, but I thought I just hit my board. I was like, that's pretty sore for just hitting a board though. So I'm very unsure. It didn't feel like I hit the reef, but it was painful in my hip. kidney
Yeah.
area, but nothing outstanding. Like nothing to worry about too much.
Yeah, no,
Did you?
no, I was very lucky. There were a couple of wipeouts where I was like, oh, this could be bad. And I was
Yeah.
very lucky. I popped up and just a little bit bemused. I was like, whoa, how the fuck did I not hit the reef on that one?
Yeah.
The only time I hit the reef was paddling in. Like, fuck, the paddle in was a bit sketch around the corner. Did you
The,
notice
pa-
that?
the paddling was so brutal on my. So I went into the beach on all of them,
Yeah.
and my round two, I paddled into the beach and it was like full high, and I was just getting smoked in the shoreys. And I think the whole judging panel was just watching me set themselves laughing, getting
Were they?
hiding after hiding. Yeah, and there's people walking
Yes.
along the beach as well. So
Yeah.
when the people walking along the beach, and when the waves push in, it pushes right up the sand up to a bank that's sort of there. These people
Mm,
got cleaned up as well, fully dressed, soaked.
fuck.
But yeah, it's a
You
sketchy
know.
wave to come in from if you're coming in on the beach.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a couple of people because you paddle out around the other side. I saw a couple of people, I think it was Steve. They paddled in where they paddled out from.
Yeah,
So that probably
a few
slipped
people
through that,
recommended that.
yeah, through that little keyhole
Mm,
section, eh?
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah.
So recapping our round ones, we didn't really
Round
get any good scores. Grovel sesh. Round two, I actually, for me, yeah, it was definitely bombing on the sets, dropped nuts on a couple. But I did manage to find maybe like one little wee sneaky barrel, I remember. Didn't do any maneuvers. I was just trying to get little bazzers. So I think I might have got a 3 or something, or a 4. I might have got a 4 in that round 2 heat. But yeah, we can actually have a look at the live heats, but can't be fucked. Look at
Who
live
was in your round two heat? Who were you with in your
around,
heat?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, fuck, my brain is dead. I know. Oh, I think Ahi was in my round 2 heat. Yeah, Ahi. Um, fuck. Talk while I bring up the live heats, eh? Can you remember who was in your
Um, in mine, I had a
Yeah,
couple of locals. I saw a heavy wipeout in my round two. I can't
yeah.
remember his name, but the first wave he took off on, he was so deep, and I think his leash got ripped out of his board on
Oh,
the first wave. And the poor bugger was just sitting on the inside. He was not happy about it. I've seen it back on the live stream, and it's
yeah,
just very unhappy camper when that happened.
yeah.
But yeah, my round two, I think I might have done a forward spin and a reverse. I took off on some
Yeah.
big waves, but there's just nothing really. I didn't get anything that was
I
nice.
can't
Nothing great. It
find.
was a bit of milking towards the end.
Yeah, yeah.
The live
I,
heats.
oh, no, I've
I
got
wonder
live
if it
heats up.
disappears after. Oh yeah,
Nah, I've got it. Heat
oh
4, heat
yeah.
6, heat 7, heat
But yeah, before
12,
my round
12
two, I
heats.
oh yeah, before my round two, I paddled out a little bit earlier, and I was sitting on the looking out right hand side of the rock where it surges around. And I was like, oh, I'll just sit here for a bit. And then I thought I'd paddle across the rock to the other inside channel. As I
Yeah.
paddled across, set come through, got wiped out. A big
Because
set toe and just got rolled
classic.
straight through onto the inside.
Yeah, because that happened to Joel the Swang as well, remember?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got he got absolutely smoked paddling out super early too. Um oh, okay. So yeah, my round 2 heat was fucking he was actually a fourth guy, but he didn't show up. So for me it was Floyd, Murdoch, and me. And
Oh,
Floyd
yeah.
Floyd shredded that heat. He got a 787 and a 630.
I think you got a
Gav,
few really good barrels.
yeah, Gav got a
And did he?
7.2. I think that was a big roll he did.
Yeah, yeah.
And my barrel was a 4.5, and my other one was a shitty little 2.6. But yeah. So that's the round 2.
Yeah.
Where's your round 2? So yeah, you won your round 2, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
Nah, not
You had a
really.
3.5 and a 307. And yeah, that was against Aaron Ratahi, Daniel Lovell, and Dan Ruri.
Yeah, I think it was one of the
Yeah.
Dans that got their lip stripped out.
Must have been, eh? Yeah. So let's talk about the controversy of the top 8, hey?
Yeah. But yeah, my heat ended up with me just by myself. But,
Video's frozen. Oh, here you are.
Am
No,
I there
you're back
now?
up now. Yeah, you're back up.
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
a
the
bit
top
skitsy, isn't
8.
it?
Let's talk about this. So
The top 8.
me and you were thinking, and Hodgo was like, nah, he definitely hasn't made it because I don't think he got many good scores at all. He might have got something in his round 2, maybe. But you and I were sort of thinking, fuck, it's going to be very close if we even make the
So,
top 8.
yeah.
It's going to be very
Yeah, so
close.
we sat there, started rattling out the names that we thought were the top 8, which we were
Yeah,
bang on with.
we
And
were
then when we
bang
got
on.
down to what, like, when we got to 8 or 9, we couldn't quite think of the 8th or 9th person, could we?
Mm.
And we did
And
some
so
quick maths.
we did some quick maths and we kind of realized that out of you and me, we might have got 9th, 10th. And that was actually what happened. You were ranked
Yeah.
10th. I was
I
ranked
was
9th.
10th, you were 9th,
Yeah.
by like
And
point something as well.
yeah, I think
The difference was
I
very tight.
think it's 0.1 between you and me or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy who actually got 8th, I'm just looking through, was Ryan, right?
Ryan, who
Yeah.
was taking off on some of the lefts, dropped me.
Yeah. I'm just looking at his first heat of the day. That was heat 5. And he actually got a 5.2.
Yeah, he was in my first heat,
He was
I
too. Yeah,
think.
it was
Yeah,
you, Dunk Smith, and Ryan actually
yeah.
won that heat.
Oh, yeah.
And then his second heat, I can't find it. Where is it? Where's Ryan? Where's Ryan? Oh, I can't see it. He
Second
didn't.
heat, you must have got a few good waves then.
Maybe he didn't go in his second
Go in
heat.
the second heat.
Yeah, because I can't see his name.
Because
He was
we
in
didn't
heat
turn up
5.
for
Yeah. So
didn't
anyway,
turn
long
up when
story
it was
short,
needed.
this guy Ryan was ranked 8th, and he wasn't there. And
Because it was a
so
no-show.
yeah, so
Number 9 comes into play.
yeah, and so I
Charles
guess
gets the call up.
I got the call up into the semi-finals, which I was stoked
Yeah.
about, but also I was a little bit like, oh fuck, the swell's getting bigger. I'm like, holy shit, I'm definitely gonna have to.
Swell was getting
dom-
bigger. The tide was dropping.
Yeah, I'm
We
definitely
actually
gonna
had
have
to have a
to.
meeting, didn't we?
Yeah, we had a little safety meeting.
Growley
Eh?
called a meeting after Hodgo. After Hodgo got stuck in the channel for a while.
Oh, that's
And then
right.
there was a bit of a safety meeting.
There was
Yeah.
because everyone was sort of even the one thing we should mention too, which was awesome, is they had a live commentary. So, and you could actually hear it really well out in the ocean.
It was very
Um,
handy.
it
Very
was so
helpful.
good. It was so good too because it was giving live heats. And it was saying, you need this score. Not that you needed a score to win
Yeah.
the heat, but it was still
Yeah.
nice to hear sort of how you were tracking. And I remember Hodjo in his heat, I think he took a massive wipeout and then he got stuck on the inside, eh?
Yeah.
Or something like that. And then
Yeah. I
the
think he took a
commentator
few
was,
beatings actually.
yeah, and the commentator was like, let us know if you're okay, give us a thumbs up. And
Yeah.
Hodjo wasn't doing anything. He just was like ignoring it. And I think that everyone
Probably
was getting
wouldn't have heard
frustrated.
them in there.
Maybe, yeah. But
Mm.
everyone, I think commentator and the judges were getting frustrated, like, let us know if you need help, and then so that's kind of why we had the safety meeting because the surf was picking up big time.
Yeah.
Some of the sets were pushing 6 to 8.
Yeah.
And low tide sucking out. So yeah, recipe for disaster potentially, eh?
Yeah, it's a sketchy surgy wave as it is, let alone when it's 6 foot and you got dry bits of reef on the inside.
What I noticed for that wave is I felt like Ahi, Ahi, Floyd, Steve, and Dunk and Wellesley and Middles, they were surfing it really well. It's a wave where you don't have much time to decide whether to pull in early or chance that second section with a lip maneuver or try and backdoor that last section. Yeah, there's a couple of many ways for me personally where I'd try my classic Blacktown scoop, lose all my speed, and then all of a sudden I'm too deep in the barrel and there's no way I'm coming
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Or you take off and try race everything, and you just completely outrace the whole wave, where you think it's going to
Yeah,
jack up and run down, but it doesn't.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
I think there's a bit of a difference between riding beaches and the slabs,
yeah.
and it was
And th-
sort
and
of
this
you
and
could
this
notice it
wave,
out there, eh?
yeah, and like this wave is makeable, but that fucking inside section, hey, is sketch, bro. It's so sketchy. It's like
Yeah, yeah,
steps, it's boiling. Um, you kind of can't take the low road. You've almost got to like adjust your line while you're in the barrel. There was one wave where, yeah, and shout out to, what's the Grommy's name? Is it Otis? No, Grommy's guy
Oscar,
from Oscar. Sorry,
Oscar,
Oscar.
yeah,
Oski.
Oscar in his photos, yeah,
Yeah, shout out to him. But he's got a photo of me where I'm actually the worst line. I'm in the barrel, and you can see I'm way too high, and I actually get sucked up and smoked on that one. But yeah, I personally was stoked. Made the top 8. You would have been. How did you feel? Were you relieved that you didn't make it,
I
or were
was
you
pretty at
bummed
ease with
out?
it. I think
Were
I was
you?
pretty at ease. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been cool to be in there, but I knew that the
yeah.
surfing I was doing wasn't worthy of top 8, so it didn't
Neither,
worry me
but
too much.
yeah, yeah.
Happy to
And
watch
for
though.
yeah, and for me, and because you were still were you feeling pretty run down as well that day?
Yeah, yeah. I
Mm,
think I started getting sick that day. Like I was in my wetsuit, shaking. I
yeah,
was
you
freezing. Everything
were
was
crook.
phlegmy. It was not flesh.
Not good.
No excuse though.
No, it's no excuse, but that's just life, isn't it?
No.
Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, my semi-final was with 'cause my brain is dead. Yeah, it was all of the big hitters, Ahi, Gav, and Middles. And so obviously this is top 2 straight to the final. Um, and yeah, I managed to get a decent little barrel for a 4.2 and a shitty little backup for the 2. But yeah, there was, I
Your
remember,
strategy
yeah,
your strategy was a bit different to everyone else's. You
it
went for the
was.
inside smaller, makeable ones while people were sitting out there waiting for the bigger, heavier ones.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
obviously
And
your strategy worked.
it did work. And I remember talking to you boys about it. I think maybe even
Yeah.
one of you guys said, yeah, go for the inside ones. And I was like, yeah, that's a good call. Um,
That's what I would have done if I was out there.
yeah,
I would have
yeah.
done
And
the
so I
exact
did
same
that.
strategy.
Because I remember being out in some of the heats, and there were heaps of those, and even watching from the beach, there were quite a few good ones just being unridden because everyone was just
Yeah.
going for the sets. And I felt like some of those set waves, like they were fucking 6 foot. Some of them weren't properly barreling, like they just sort of
Bit
crumble
mushy.
and then a bit mushy. And then you'd see the little 3 to 4 footers were actually just a bit better. So that was my strat, and it worked. Yeah, I got one decent one, average one, and then yeah, managed to scrape through. I couldn't believe it because there was a wave that Gav got in that heat, and I remember it was a sick big one, and he pulled in, and I actually thought he'd come out, and I was like, oh well, I'm cooked. And Middles struggled on that one. He couldn't. I think he pulled into a few as well, but didn't
I think
make it out.
he got a few for some real good beatings middles, I think, in that one. I think
Did
was
he?
that the
Yeah.
way? Was that him that took one and fell top to bottom?
Oh, it might have been. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Like, and you look at the scores in that semi-final number 1. No one got over combined total of 8. Like Ahi got through with a
Huh.
4 and a 3. I got through with a
Yeah.
4 and a 2. And you Gav probably deserved to get through, but he just didn't make that barrel. And then yeah,
A lot of
semi-final 2.
there's a lot of low scoring in there, but there was
Mm,
definitely potential for tens.
yeah, yeah. And what did you think about the scoring? Like, for me,
I thought it was
I
bang
thought,
on, eh?
yeah, I thought it was
I thought it
bang
was pretty
on.
good.
My only critique would be, I felt like there was a big disparity between the average scores and the real good scores. I
Yeah.
feel like some of the average scores probably could have been more around the
Could have been
five,
mid range, yeah.
yeah, 5, 6s. Um, that was probably my only critique of the judging. Was that there was a big up and down mix, but overall,
Yeah, I agree with that.
overall, fucking really good judging.
Consistent as,
Consistent, yeah, that's
which
the
is what you want.
fuck yeah.
Consistency is key.
And so
But
semi-final
that's
two.
yeah,
Sorry, what were you
yeah.
gonna say?
That's the bonus of having all the judges there on the table the whole day. Some
Exactly.
consistency.
Yep. So Wellesley did well in his semi-final. He got a real good score, a 7.33. I don't remember what that was.
Yeah, I think it was a very deep barrel.
Cool.
Yeah, a very good barrel.
Nice.
I think all his waves were just big barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True. Yeah.
yeah. It was. Yeah, he killed it out there.
He did, eh? Yeah. And then Floyd got a 6 and a 2. Dunk got a 5 and a 3. And Steve had a bit of a shocker in that heat. Got a 2 and a 1.9. So it was very surprising not to see Dunk in the final. Bad luck, Dunk.
Yeah,
But he was surfing good, though, as per usual.
yeah, yeah.
And then the final.
The
Jolsey.
final, the finale.
The ninth
Chelsea
place
weaned his
gets-
way into the final.
What a slimy Blaketown boy, eh? But hey, at least one person from the Blaketown crew.
Good to have a
got there.
coaster there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. And so
2 South
for me-
Islanders.
Yeah, it was really cool. Good mix, eh? One Welly with
Yeah.
Floyd, one Gizzy boy who has ties to the coast, and me and Wellesley, the Southerners. So
Wellesley,
that's
the
good.
very last minute entry.
Yeah. So that's good for to rub it into Steve, because Steve always pays me and Hodgo out about how South Islanders are kooks and the best surfers are all the North Island. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Steve-O.
But Steve's scared of Blaketown, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's petrified of it.
Yeah.
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 One day he
He'll
might
never
come
surf
down,
the
we'll see.
place
Nah, he'd never surf it.
when he gets the
But
balls
yeah.
to come down.
What did you think of the final from the land?
The final was good. It was good watching. It was very like there was constant changes with leading and all that. It was pretty good performance, like, and some commitment on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
His roll was
Psycho, eh?
It was psycho, yeah. That was ending one or two ways. He was landing or he was getting fucked up.
Yeah. And so he got an 8.1 for that big critical roll. And you can watch the
Yeah.
footage. And that was a psycho section. It was steppy, low tide. It was
He took his roll he hit in the steppy section
yeah,
in the
that's right.
surgy part of the wave.
the most psycho part of the wave. So yeah, he done well. His top two scoring waves were an 8 and a 6.67, and so that got him the trophy, which was really cool. Floyd got a 7, but didn't have much of a backup with a 2. I managed to weasel away with that same strategy. Got a 4 and a 3.
On the smaller inside ones, wasn't it?
Yeah. Did you see me bailing a couple of waves? Remember me like ducking
think-
through a couple of big ones?
Yeah. There was one that I think you
I should have just
you
stayed
took
on.
off on. I don't know if it was in the final or the semis, but you took off on one, and just as you come out, you bailed. Like you just come out
yeah.
of a barrel and
Yeah.
bailed as soon as you come out, and it was very iffy whether you made that barrel or not.
I remember
But
that one.
it ended up being you made it because
A
you did
complete-
make it out.
Yeah. No, I remember
Yeah.
that wave. And I even thought to myself, that's gonna be what's the word? Controversial. Because I remember coming out, and then I remember just seeing the reef was dry. So I was just like, I'm bailing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad the judges gave that a completion, because
It did split the judges a bit though.
did it?
But yeah, it was a completion. It was a completion, and it was called as a completion, thankfully.
Yeah, so that's cool.
And there was another one, I think, was it the final that Wellesley got, and it was a
Yeah.
10. And
It
he
was.
was just coming out of it as he bailed as he was coming out. He was so
Yeah, dude.
close, but it was a 10.
Bro,
And he
I
said when he
had the-
pulled into that barrel and just saw all the seaweed all wrapping around him and stuff as he was going through it.
Yeah.
And then caught at the very end.
Fuck, dude. I had the best view for that, because I just caught a wave, and it was
Yeah.
actually my high scorer. I think it was one of those little inside barrels, and I remember padding back out, and I looked up, and I just see him with the perfect line, the nice style that he has, and he had great speed, and he was coming out. I could see him. I was like, oh, he could win. He's coming out of this, and then
Mm.
I paddled over the wave, and I was looking back to see if he'd made it out, and I didn't see him pop up. So I was like, oh, he's definitely made it. And then he paddles back out, and I had so much energy in that heat. I was hooting everyone. I was being a smart ass. I was I was real amped up. And I was like, fuck,
That's
Wellesley,
cool.
I was like, fuck yeah, bro, that was sick. And he was like, yeah, man, that was awesome. I was like, did you make that? And he's like, yeah, man. And then about, and then I think Uppy might have said something. And
And
then a
your
minute later,
heads.
yeah, he was playing mind games. And then about a minute later, he's like, nah, I didn't come out. And I was like, oh, fuck, no way. And he told me later on that, yeah, he was fully coming out. And then he reckons the boil just like sunk his board down, like just
Mm.
gobbled it up. It was like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, that would have been good if he made it. I don't think it would have got him the win though, would it? But he
No,
would
I
have
think it
been
might have
close.
got him. It would have got him, well, yeah, it
It
would have got
was
him
a
probably
10.
second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his best score was a 4.27. So he would have, oh, it would have been close. It would have been like
Very close.
0.3 because Ahi's combined total was 14.77.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's that, bro. We went to the Sprig and Sea
Sprig and
Turn.
Fern.
Yeah, Sprig and Sea Turn,
Yeah,
and
Sprig and
which is Growley's local.
shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out
Closed the
guys.
whole
That was
pub for
awesome.
us.
Yeah, it was cool
It was
because
cool. It was very cool.
because that was the public holiday, wasn't it? That was the Monday, or was it the Sunday? It was the
Sunday.
Monday, eh?
Sunday night.
Sunday. Yeah.
Sunday night.
So
Travel home
that was
Monday.
cool. Had a few beers, good prize giving with the boys, and I was just so stoked. The Uppy one, it was so cute. His daughter was there, Mahia.
Yeah, it was cool.
And, it was really cool, and it was cool to hear that was the first comp he's ever won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he said that to me outside. He's like, first comp. He said he's been in quite a few finals, but the first one he's ever won. So that's quite a special moment for him, and he got some pretty
Yeah.
sick prizes. So that was cool.
It's a big comp to win too. It's such a cool comp, such a good vibe. So sick.
And-
Hopefully they can
and-
continue through
Yeah,
and keep doing
and
it.
that's his bragging rights for forever. He won the
Yeah.
first ever.
The inaugural.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. It was
congrats,
such a good
mate.
turnout too. The whole competition was such a big turnout. There was
24
constantly people,
Yeah.
constantly spectators stopping to watch, to video. The amount of
Really
people in
cool.
micro that would stop on their push bikes to video some waves and then jump back off and go. Constant
So
like
many-
around the place.
So many faggy Wellingtonians biking past, eh?
But yeah, so much interest around it. So much interest.
Yeah.
It
No,
was sick.
really cool. I wonder if they got
did
any like
very
local.
well.
I wonder if they got any local, like newspaper or
Media,
articles
yeah.
or anything. Yeah, local media. Because
I'd say they would have got something.
of course, when we came home, the local rag
Oh,
put a
that-
little fucking
All over us.
all
All over us.
I didn't have a hand in doing in any of that, did I? No.
You selected the photo and did the write up and paid them to put it in there.
Yeah.
It's $50.
Kill
Put her
Kelly
in the
gets
paper.
third. Kill Kelly gets third. One thing also, which is quite funny for me, not so funny for Grally, is I left my third place picture frame trophy / thing.
Yeah.
I left it at the pub by accident, and then like Grally was messaging me. I think he was a bit pissed off, but he actually rung me up when I got home. He's like, "So what are you going to do about that trophy? Like that's." I think he was a bit grumpy that I left it there, but trust me, Grally, it was no disrespect. I'm just a forgetful idiot. I always leave shit lying around. So,
So you're still yet to get it?
still yet to
haven't
get
got
it.
it in.
I've got one of my Wellington mates. I don't think he's picked it up yet. I asked him like a month ago. I was
yeah.
like, "Can you pop in?" So he's still going to go get it. So hopefully it's
Yeah.
still there.
One to put in the trophy room.
Yeah. And how many times have you
A sick
surfed?
poster.
Such a sick poster. How
I
many
haven't
times have you
surfed since.
surfed?
Not
I knew
once.
it. I knew
Not
it.
once. That
Running every day.
that
Running every day though.
that not even running now. I'm not doing anything now. That the free surf on the Friday was the first surf I'd had since the Blaketown competition. I think.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've surfed maybe now 4 times in about 6 months.
Great training, mate. Great training.
Oh yeah, yeah. Surf when I need to surf in comps.
Ads McLean, you're taking a leaf out of Ads McLean's book.
Yeah,
There,
just not quite as well.
bro.
Not going out busting aero verses on my first wave.
I don't think he is.
I've gone
either,
down.
but no.
I've checked it a few times, but gone down with my gear, but it just hasn't been flash, or I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, cool.
I'll get back
Right,
at
well,
it.
let's have a quick
Summer.
chat about Raro. Let's have a quick chat about Raro because we need to get off of this
Yes,
so we
yes.
can watch Kai Kara France hopefully win.
Kai Kara France come home with a belt.
That'd be so sick. We'll talk about a little bit of
What's
UFC.
going on in Raro?
Okay, so
What's going on in Raro?
day one, had a little.
Wait, how long you been there so far?
I've been here like 5 days, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 days.
Yeah.
Day one, just nice to be here. Got in late as you always do. The flights are always cunts, when you come here. It's always late or early in the morning. So we got in and crashed out and spent the first day snorkeling, just cruising, me and my daughter. And then I had a little wee grovelly surf out at Socials. It was just a lovely little sunset surf for about 45 minutes, just little 1 to 2 foot. Right-handers, actually, mainly. My first wave was like a nice little drop knee barrel, so I was stoked.
Cool.
Second wave, second surf the next day was at Edgewater, and I'm going to share my screen, and I might let some photos paint a picture. Let me quickly do this. Can you see this?
Now there's a story behind this.
Yeah.
So this is a
there
story
is.
I've been holding out for.
So this is a picture of
What?
me in a.
You
in a
look
wheelchair.
excited. You do look
Yeah.
excited.
I think it's because I'm high on tramadol.
Oh yeah,
Oh, not that one.
that's a service needed. Oh,
Here's another photo. This is me in a hospital bed.
not so excited now.
Not too happy there. Here's another photo
Oh,
of some plasters on the back of my skull, and that little bit of reef rash there. I was wearing a wetsuit, and that is the impact of the reef. And there's a photo of my daughter giving me the
a
fingers,
father-daughter moment.
which is quite cool.
What happened? Run us through it.
Dude,
Do you remember it?
I do. I was just, you know me, I get a little bit too excited sometimes and make some stupid decisions. Socials was small, and I was like, I know Edgewater's going to be a bit bigger and have a good wind on it, so I'll go check Edgewater and go for Eddie can go for a snorkel, and so we get to Edgewater, and it's solid, not solid, but like 2 to 3 foot, but like dead low tide, like maybe like 40 minutes after low tide.
Yeah.
And I should have, the first sign was I stubbed my toe as I was walking down the beach on a bit of coral, and it hurt so much. It should have been the first sign. I was like, fuck, that like hurt so much. And then I was like, I'm still paddling out. So have you surfed Edgewater?
No. Oh,
Okay.
no. We never. I haven't surfed Edgewater.
Yeah,
No.
it's a dicey wave on the best of days.
Yeah.
I've heard it can actually be a really good right-hander on the right swell angle, but
Because it usually is a left, isn't it?
yeah, it's usually a left. If you get a good swell angle, it's quite makeable, but then you have to pull off because there's actually not really a pass, so it's pretty much to get out. You just have to scramble over the reef and then just wait.
Yeah.
So I do that. I paddle out and I get to the reef and I'm standing up and like sets are coming, and this is the second sign I shouldn't have even paddled out. I got fucking done up just trying to get out. I remember I jumped over a wave and then a wave was coming. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not gonna get through this. So I like just sort of took it on my board and then I got washed back all over the reef. And I was like, fucking, and Addison, I could see Addison, she was watching, like, sort of freaking out, like, what are you doing, Dad? She was snorkeling, just staring at me. And I was like, oh, I'm all good. I managed to
Yeah.
get back up. So I paddled out. And I was out there thinking, this is stupid. What am I doing? This is, like, crazy. Like, this is fucking heavy. And first
Just
wave.
you out there.
Yeah, just me. Solo.
Yeah.
3 foot, Edgewater, dry, basically. But there were makeable ones, and I was paddling towards the peak, and I was shitting. And I said to myself in my head, I was like, oh, look, I might just catch a wave and go in. This is a bit risky. So I catch one and pretty much had to straighten out, and I was like, fuck. So I paddled back out. I was like, all right, next wave, I'm going in. So I took off on this wave, and it just jacked up, and I lost traction with my board, and then I air dropped, and then I had to bail midair. And as I tried to dive through the back of the wave, but it wouldn't let me. It was just too powerful. And then I felt myself get sucked up underwater, and I was thinking, oh no, this is going to be really bad. And it was, bro. I fucking head first and back first into the reef. Thankfully, it wasn't the top of my head, because I think if it was the top of my head, that would have
Sent shots through the
reignited.
neck.
Yeah, with my old neck injury, I reckon I would be
Yeah.
paralyzed if my top of my head. But it hit the back of my head, and where that photo of my where the rash or the reef impact was about just above, just sort of where my shoulder blades were, but it hit right in the middle of my back.
Yeah.
Bro, one of the
So
probably the
was it
probably
a
the
bounce? Like, did you bounce off the reef or did you scrape along a bit?
No, it was an impact. It was a bounce. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a bounce. I think I blacked out for probably a second. Yeah, so concussion definitely. And I came up and I felt that same feeling that I had when I almost broke my neck. Like all my limbs had gone numb, and I couldn't feel my legs, bro. Couldn't feel them. And then I was like trying to kick them, and they were all jittery. And I was like, I was just praying to God. I was like, please, God, please, please, please don't let me be paraplegic, please. And then like I was trying to get in, and the reef was dry, and like I was just trying to get in. I got so many scratches all over my knees and my arms.
Yeah.
I was just panicking. And I said to Addison before I paddled out, I was like, oh, if anything goes wrong, I'll give you a big wave. And I was just like paddling in, just freaking out. My legs were starting to work, and I was like, okay, it's a good sign. It's a good sign. And I was kicking, but my left leg was like fucking real weak. My right leg had a bit of power. My left leg was just sort of going a little bit up and down. Oh man, it's heavy to even just talk about it. And then I was paddling
Are you
in.
getting whitewash roll through at this point as well? Is like it washing
No,
through where you
I
are
managed
as
to
well,
get-
or you've got past that?
Got past that, and then I just managed to get through, more of the deeper
Yeah.
water as you're
Into the-
paddling in. Yeah. And then I waved to Addison. I was like, and she thought I was waving, like, hi. But I was like waving, like,
Hey, Dad.
help. I was like,
Yeah.
please help me. So I get to the shore, and I'm like, okay, this is the moment of truth. Can I walk? So I tried to stand up, and I couldn't stand. Couldn't even stand on my own 2 feet.
Wow.
So I had to 2-arm shuffle.
Drag
and
yourself
then,
up.
Yeah, drag myself up to the shoreline. I just sat there, and Addison runs over, and I'm like, you're going to have to call an ambulance. I'll fuck myself. It's a spinal injury. I've definitely fucked myself. And huge shout out to Pete. Pete. Pete.
Yeah. Pete. Yeah.
He was there,
Legend.
and he went straight away and called the ambulance for me. Oh man, it was so scary. And so I just had to lie down there, and obviously there were heaps of tourists around, so they were like, talking to me, and
Yeah. Yeah.
My right leg was good, but my left leg, I couldn't really move it. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I am cooked. I'm going to be a full on cripple. Um, and then, yeah, so long story short, ambulance came, got to the hospital. I was in so much pain. My back was just like
Mm.
9 out of 10 pain. Like they were trying to roll me over to get my wetsuit off. Oh, this is one little funny story. There was like this islander nurse, and like I don't know if he was like fafine or a little bit gay or
Oh
something, but
yeah.
like he was like taking my wetsuit off and like drying my penis, and I was just like, oh, this is weird. Get away.
there's nothing.
He was,
There's nothing wrong with my dick. No, I dry. I dry. I dry.
yeah, he was giving it extra attention too, and I was like, no, get out.
There's not
The
even
man,
wheat. No, I dry. I dry.
I dry. The man shrinkage turn. I was like, no, leave him alone. It's embarrassing.
Stop drying it.
Leave it alone. So yeah, they got the wetsuit off me, put the gown on me, and it was actually really they were awesome. Big shout out to the Rarotonga Hospital,
Yeah.
even though it cost me like $600 for the ambulance and
Ooh.
everything, and I didn't have
Mm.
insurance, so that was a kook out from me. So yeah, they gave me some scans, some X-rays on my back and everything, and then they wheeled me out into the into a little wee curtained off area, and then yeah, they came back with the good news that I hadn't broken my back. So
Yeah.
and then I could wiggle both my
So,
toes. Yeah, yeah,
so do they think you hit a nerve when you hit the reef, or just a
yeah,
bit of
yeah.
shock, or what?
I think both that. I think I probably
Yeah.
got nerve damage on my back and just the shock. Um, but so I'm hobbling around. I can walk obviously, but so my arms are good. My right leg is good. My feet, but I think I'll come back
So
to
you,
full recovery. But my left leg is weak,
yeah.
and I've definitely got a bit of a limp, and like my left big toe won't. It's not fully functioning properly. So
Ah,
yeah, it's there's definitely some nerve damage there. I don't
yeah.
know.
You've definitely hit
Yeah,
something, eh? Hit something that's
yeah,
put a bit of, yeah, hectic.
dude. I've already been
Fuck, that
saying,
would have been
mate,
scary as shit.
mate, it was the scariest moment of my life, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
the neck one, maybe the neck one was worse because I had to get flown to Christchurch, and I had, I spent 2 days in the spinal unit. Whereas this one was just like they fucking got me out of the hospital in about 3 or 4 hours.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but one thing I'm worried about because Rhino did something similar. Apparently, he hurt his back here. Went to the hospital. They scanned him. They said you're sweet. Then he got rescanned in New Zealand, and they're like, "Oh no,
Oh,
your
yeah.
back's broken. You broke your back." So yeah,
So you'll be going for scans when you get home.
100%. When I
Definitely.
get home,
Yeah.
thankfully I've actually already got a doctor's appointment. I actually booked one before, just for a regular checkup. So I've actually got a doctor's appointment in a couple of weeks. So I'll be saying, please hook me
Check
up.
my
Let's
back.
get some scans. Um, but yeah, dude, I'm seriously considering giving up. Hey, honestly, I don't know if I can risk it anymore.
That would put a bit of like doubt in your head from here on as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if, yeah,
yeah,
I've been thinking about it long and hard over the last few days. It's like, why would I want to risk being a full paraplegic just for, the enjoyments of surfing? Like,
but
I'm
how
sure
much
I could,
fun is surfing though?
I know surfing's my life
Mm,
pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah, I had a little moment.
yes,
I had a little moment in the hospital. I had a little wee cry because I was actually thinking to myself, I'm going to give up surfing, and I was like, it was quite emotional because I was like, I'm making a decision to give up my number one passion in life, but I don't know. It's just, is it worth
to be
it? Is it
fair,
worth, you know?
you can get injured doing anything,
Yeah, that's true.
anything,
Yeah.
and that's something you're having fun doing. So
Yeah, but fuck, I could probably find fun doing other things that are less risky, you know?
risque, yeah.
risque.
When you think about it, the amount of surfing you've done and 2 bad injuries, but they have been bad injuries.
Bad,
Yeah,
really bad.
bad.
But this one was, it was poor choices on my behalf. I shouldn't have paddled out.
Yeah,
I should have just
should have seen
waited
the
for him.
signs.
Yeah, the signs were there. Stubbed my toe, and I fucking almost got smoked just paddling out. Like, yeah, if I think back, like that was so stupid of me. I'm too old to be paddling out at fucking low tide, death, Edgewater. That was so stupid. What am
Yeah.
I doing? I just get too excited sometimes. I'm just like a kid in a candy shop. I'm just like, I'm in Raro. I just want to experience everything. But yeah, it's so
Yeah.
stupid, bro. So stupid.
Oh,
So yeah, that's my big news to share with everyone. It's fucking
fuck.
it was terrifying, bro. Terrifying.
Was there quite a bit of blood when you were sitting up on the beach and stuff, like stitches in the back of your head or anything?
Yeah, no, I reckon they probably should have put stitches. Like, I
Yeah.
probably can't turn around, but like,
Ah, there's
you see that?
bandages. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah, like,
it's seeping through.
yeah. There's a lot of blood in there. So
So
I'm on all
you've
the
obviously got 2
antibiotics.
good gashes there or something.
I think I've got 3 on the back of
Yeah,
my head.
and having a drink.
Yeah. Another smart decision.
I think it's only certain antibiotics that play with that. What's your wetsuit like? Wetsuit completely torn to bits?
Nah, that's the weird thing. It's fine.
Oh,
It's just, I think it was just the impact. So my head
Yeah.
obviously got fucking smoked, but the wetsuit did save my back from gnarly cuts.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it would have
it
been a
was,
lot worse if there wasn't a wetsuit.
like you said earlier, it was just an impact. It was like a bush. It was a lot of power. I just remember getting sucked over and thinking, "Fuck, here we go." I couldn't get my body in the right position. I was just like, "This is gonna be bad." Kaboom! And just absolute terror, man. Like I don't want that. I don't wish that feeling on anyone. The feeling of
So
like,
just out in the water by yourself, not feeling your legs, still having so far to go,
yep,
and
yep,
shitty sharp reef to crawl across.
yeah. I guess the one good thing is like, Edgewater's quite close. The reef's pretty close to the beach.
Yeah, and it's
Like,
very well populated around that area too.
yeah, so many people there. But yeah, huge shout out to Pete and the people on the beach and the staff at the Rarotonga Hospital. They really looked after me. It was cool. There was actually a Kiwi lady. Her name was Ainsley, older girl. She was awesome. She was so helpful. But
So
yeah,
what day was this? Day 2?
this was day 2, so this would have been the second day of the trip. So the
Yeah.
trip's a bit of a write off for me. I feel, and huge shout out to Addison. I feel so sorry for her. She had a rough day, fucking thinking her dad's gonna be, a full
Paraplegic.
veg. Yeah, man. So she had some pretty tough moments that day, but oh well. She's
You're rocking a car over there, aren't you?
yeah. She had to.
Thankfully, she's got her license.
She had to. Poor thing. She had to drive from Edgewater to the hospital. Like, she's never driven in Raro before, but she nailed it.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story, mate. And we'll wrap it up there. But let's maybe, who knows? Maybe in a few months I might want to paddle back out. But at this stage,
You'd be rocking the Magneto helmet from here on out.
oh, I think I'll be helmet for the rest of my life if I ever go surfing again.
Yeah.
But I've already been thinking maybe I'll just get into surf photography, and bloody get a good camera.
That'd be pretty
and
cool.
Yeah,
Even if you're not surfing, you still want to be down the beach. Spend your time around the beach if you do decide not to surf.
Yeah, remember that's what I did when I fractured my neck. Was like I was just straight on the camera, and I reckon I'd get a lot of passion and enjoyment out of that. Even like, I'd be keen to paddle out and be like a water photographer too. Like, I'd love to get into that.
But you're still enjoying the waves, just in a different way.
Yeah, exactly. And you still get a workout too if you're in the water paddling around. Yeah. So hey, watch the space. That was my crazy fucking story about Raro. Fuck. What a wild.
Just parked up on the couch for the next few days.
Yeah. I won't be going swimming, but me and Addison are still having fun. We've been sunbathing today, and we went to the markets today and bought a few things, and hard work walking though. Fuck me, it's yeah.
Oh, you got
I'm,
crutches?
nah, I'm just limping around like a fucking old kook.
Just a heap of tramadol.
Yeah, I'm on the trammies big time. Oh yeah, and you know what sucks is you get constipated on the trammies. So I had
Fucking
to get some
horrible things.
I had to get some full like what are they called? Laxatives, eh? To help me out, bro. Oh, haven't
Fuck
I
that,
mean,
hey.
I took my first shit in 3 days today. That was fucking
Yeah.
weird.
I think I've been put on tramadol once and they said it constipates you. I'm not touching them. I'm not risking that.
Oh, really?
Give
You
me a
didn't
whole
bother?
bottle of laxatives. I'm like, no, I'm not touching any of that. I think I gave them to people at work instead. Drop them
Did
in
you?
some drinks.
Yeah, yeah, sweet. All right, bro. Bread and circuses. Who you picking for Kaikara and obviously you? Oh, I know the answer here.
Oh, obviously,
I
Kaikara, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But I guess the other big one is what about Ilya versus Charles?
Oh, I read something that Charles pulled out, but I'm guessing that's some bullshit Instagram post or something.
Must be. I haven't heard
But
anything.
I've only seen it once and I haven't seen it since. That must be bullshit.
What do you think? Who wins that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think
Yeah.
Ilya's got too much power.
It's a bit of a step up, eh? But Charles was a beast. If he can
Oh
get
yeah,
it back,
yeah, he could
we'll
totally win.
see.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll
reckon
see.
Ilya for the win. Right, bro. Thanks for
Yeah.
tuning in. I'll let you get back to your
All right.
household.
So back
Thanks
to my
heaps, bro.
chores.
Back to your chores, and I'll see you next week sometime.
Yeah. Enjoy your time in Raro on the couch.
I'll
Or
try, bro.
bugger.
See ya.
Or bugger. Hopefully it's flat the
Bye-bye.
rest of the week.
Same. Yeah, same.
Fucking cats. Sweet.
Right, bro. Catch ya.
All right. Yeah.
Thanks to all
Bye.
our listeners and followers and Patreons. Sorry, it's been another big break. Hodgo's been missing in action for 4 to 5 weeks. So, yeah, we'll get back into the swing of things once his family's got better. See you guys. Boo, man. Swoo.